to Kicking It with KeKe. Kicking It with KeKe. Kicking It with KeKe. Full of personalities. Switching up the storyline on God, we making history. Writing books, changing lives, one day at a time. Put your problems to the side. Enjoy yourself. Free your mind. Kicking It with KeKe.
What's up, you guys, and welcome to another episode of Kicking It with KeKe, Life, Love, and all that other shit. I am your girl, author KeKe Chanel. When I'm not writing books that entertain and inspire, I am doing my podcast. It is a personal development podcast. We all need to grow, and that comes with the flow of mindset and positive personal growth. So, today I am joined with my guest, Butterfly Thoughts, and I will give her the opportunity to introduce herself to you guys. Thank you for listening. Butterfly, what's up, girl?
Hey KeKe,
Hey,
what's going on, girl? I'm loving
girl.
the intro, honey.
I'm so glad because, babe, when I heard it, I was like, that's it.
Yes, it's fly. I'm like, ooh,
Yes. So tell the
yeah.
people that's listening in who you are and what you do, love.
So I am Kimberly, however you want to call me, Trini Cherry. Some people know me as of Butterfly Thoughts. I am a entrepreneur of sorts, empowerment coach, author, and that's what I do.
Just a cool ass chick, man. Listen.
Yes.
That's all, love. Thank you for joining me today. And today's topic is evolving until your highest self. When you hear that topic, what immediately comes to mind when you hear that?
Ooh, like,
Dun,
yeah.
dun, dun.
Like, when I can tell you so many different stories of me just evolving and evolving, especially over the past year or so,
Right.
probably even less than a year. And it just hits me on so many different levels. Like, yes, that's me. I'm like so evolving over and over and double timing it all the time
All the
in the
time, right?
past year. So, and even when I look back on the things that I've been through in my life,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, damn, yo, you did a good job of how you dealt with situations. Like, girl, you did the thing.
Yes.
You know
And,
what I mean?
and we are always hardest on ourselves. But I'm so
Tell me
glad that
about
I'm
it.
not the person that I am, that I was like 5 years ago,
Girl,
2 years ago. Don't even talk about the 20s,
listen,
baby. That's some lesson.
listen,
Oh,
listen.
look,
Let
I
me
didn't.
tell you, I've always been a person to like have some type of discernment.
Uh-huh.
Um, it's more prominent now, and
Mm,
I can pick it up easier now
mm-hmm.
than when I was in my 20s
Right.
or when I was in my young late teens,
Mm-hmm.
or even young teens.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just the the person that I am today, man, oh man, when I tell you, it is so much, what is the word? It's so much different
Mm-hmm.
than I was 10, 20 years ago.
Right.
It's so much different.
And that right there should be enough that we pat ourselves on the back, because I let's get into, when do you remember you first had your, the evolving that came over you? I know for me, I didn't really want to hear the word evolve in my 20s. I was just living life. If it wasn't Kiki's way, I didn't give a damn about it. I ain't even give a damn about
Mm,
myself, because when you don't have self-love, you allow anyone to love you. And that's what I was doing. And so
Talk about it.
I am writing a memoir about it. And it's called Finding the Sun: My Journey to Self-Love. And I thank
Mm-hmm.
God for allowing me to go through the experiences that I did, because I
Yes.
probably would have never evolved into the person that I
Mm-hmm.
am right now.
Today. That's
Yes.
right.
So
That's right.
what experience can you talk about, or do you want to share with listeners about
Mm.
one of your moments of evolution?
So I've always been one of the quiet girls, where I'm I always want to be everybody's friend,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of sometimes got me into situations that I should have never been into,
Right.
right?
Yeah, I get it.
But what I would say is that because I went through those situations,
Mm-hmm.
I now have the discernment that I have
Mm.
today,
Mm. That's awesome.
right? So the one story that I can tell you of where I evolved
Mm-hmm.
is um the relationship with my late fiance.
Okay.
We had a great relationship.
Mm-hmm.
In the 8.5, almost 9 years that we was together, I think we had maybe 3 major big arguments.
Wow.
And I'm not an arguer. I
I
hate
don't.
to argue,
Me too. I'm not
right?
doing it.
And I don't care if it's with a friend,
Mm-hmm.
with an associate,
Mm-hmm.
with a loved one or a
Mm.
lover. I don't
Right.
care. I
Right.
don't like to argue because at the end of the day, my thing is let's sit down and talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
That bickering back and forth, I ain't got time for that.
Exactly. I feel you on
I ain't got
that.
time for that.
Right.
But the things that I dealt with after him
Mm-hmm.
made me into that type of woman because I know what I deserve.
Uh-huh.
And because I wasn't getting what I deserved, I became that you do this and you do that, da 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 kind of woman.
Right.
Right. But with the guy that I'm with now, like the way I deal with him
Mm-hmm.
is completely different than the ones that I dealt with the 2 before him.
Okay.
You know, like he with those, I was always not that I was always looking for something,
Mm-hmm.
but things was always falling into my lap that made me go off.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So with this one, when I started dealing with him, I said, listen, the one thing you can do to hurt me is to lie to me.
Right.
Be open, transparent,
Mm-hmm.
and upfront with
Mm-hmm.
all your ish.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, let me be the one to decide
If I'm gonna deal with it or not.
if I'm going to deal with it or not.
Absolutely.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
Don't take that decision from me.
Right.
And that's what all the other guys before him, minus my late fiance,
Mm-hmm.
did.
Right.
They all took my decisions, my decision making from me. And
Right.
that was one thing that would piss me off.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. Just
So
listening to you talk, I can tell.
my right. So that's my evolving when it comes to being in a relationship with a lover.
Right.
What
about yourself? What about yourself? Like, when did you know that it was time to level up? Like, hey, this is not working for me. I know that I deserve better. I know that my purpose is out there. I need to figure it out. When did you have that aha moment, if you will, that you were not operating in your highest self?
So that aha moment came when my bestie, which I call my sister, that's my ride or die, my everything.
Mm-hmm.
Her and I had a conversation, And then another friend that we grew up with that became like family because we've known each other for so long.
Right.
Her mother and my mother is like a close best friends or sisters almost.
Right.
So we call each other cousins.
Okay.
And the two of them always, well, not always, but within the last year, I want to say I started my business in March. I want to say that December, January, they was like, yo, you always giving everybody good advice. You always see things from a different coin. Why don't you take it and turn it into a business? I'm like, how? I'm just being me.
Yeah. That's going to attract the people. Be you.
I'm like, but how? I don't know what you're talking about. How I'm going to do that? How I'm going to do that? How, Sway?
Right.
So I was just like, you know what? And then I started opening up my mind a little bit to the idea. Again, I didn't know where to go with it, like how to start it, what to do with it. And then I want to say, a matter of fact, I got to go back. Those two conversations was actually in the summertime of 2019.
Okay.
Yeah, 2019. And I was having little signs when it comes to butterflies.
Oh, wow.
Where I would always be seeing butterflies. No matter where I go. And I'm from New York. It's rare that you see butterflies.
Wow. And I'm in Louisiana, so we see them all the time here.
And that's the thing in New York, because we're the concrete jungle.
Right.
So it's really rare that you will see butterflies all the time. And no matter where I went, especially that summer, I was just seeing butterflies all over. And I would just get so excited, like, butterflies!
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, from there, I knew something was happening, but I didn't know what it was.
Right. And so that brings me to my first question that I want to ask. How did you come up with the concept of the name Butterfly Thoughts? I love that because I love butterflies as well. So yeah.
Yes. So all of this involves that. So in that happening day by day, and I'm just like, okay, I know, Lord, you're trying to tell me something. I don't know what it is.
But I'm listening.
You're trying to tell me something.
Yeah.
All right, got you. So I want to say like September. That September, I was either September or November, one of those two. I'm on my balcony, and a butterfly came on the balcony, circled me, and flew away.
Wow.
And I was just like, what are the odds? Okay, Lord, I hear you, but you just got to bring it to me. I understand where you're going, but bring me what I need.
Right.
Like, what's going on here? So, that January, fast forward to January, I'm laying in my bed and I'm having, these conversations all along with the guy that I'm dating now. And we try to come up with different names or whatever. And, he was like, so why don't you just do something with butterflies? I was like, yeah, but what?
Yeah.
So he was like, well, since it circled you, how about Butterfly Thoughts? And I was like,
wow. Okay. I get it.
Yeah. I was like, okay, that's
look.
So I was like, you know what? That sounds good. Because, we had all types of other butterflies, or something of a butterfly or something of another. And it just didn't stick. So I said, okay. I went to sleep one day. I woke up a Saturday morning and I was just laying there in the stillness. and I heard Butterfly Thoughts.
See.
And I said, all right, that's it.
That's it.
I gotta go and get this and I just had that urge to get an LLC.
Right.
Did not know where I was going with it.
But you had the name though. You had
where I was going, but I had the name.
Yes.
That Monday or Tuesday, I called another friend of mine because I know she had businesses and she done the LLC thing already and whatnot. And I was like, listen, sis, I need your help.
Right.
She was like, what's going on? I'm like, I got this name and I need an LLC. I just don't know how to go about it. Can you help me? She's like, I got you. She's like, you ready for it? I was like, I'm ready. Like, I don't care what it costs. I got a credit card.
Yeah.
Yes. I got a credit card.
Hey, so when you know, you know. When you know, you know, right?
So so we went through the whole process. She went through it with me the whole entire day and made sure we got everything down to the T. And I got everything. Within no time, I had my LLC. I was like, yes, all right, God. You're giving me the urges and the steps. Yeah. What's the next step? Like, okay, what's going on? Let's do this.
Let's do it.
Because I was excited. Like, I was like over the moon excited. So that's the beginning of my evolvement.
Right.
Into this businesswoman that I am in today.
Right.
You know, and little by little, people started dropping into my lap. Now, a lot of us follow Ash Cash. And him and I went to high school together.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And, you know, I was following him just because he was a schoolmate of mine.
Right.
That's it. And I said, okay. But something just told me to like really now hone in and listen to what he's been doing. So I started listening more and more. And then I just like, people was just dropping into my lap saying, hey, how you doing, Butterfly? Hey, this, hey. And it was just one after the other. And I was like, okay, I'm liking this. Like, all right now, let's go with it.
Yeah.
And I was just going and it just flowed and flowed. And that's when I met Ramaya. That's when I met, you know, CJV and all of them, and things started dropping like and giving me direction on how to make this thing evolve. And that's when I realized what I do is an empowerment coach. I love to encourage people. I love to empower people. Like, you got this. You know, you could do it. You got it. Let's do it.
No
I'm
excuses.
behind you.
Right. I love that.
And you. I got you.
You already know, like the butterfly, how it, you know, the caterpillar, and it goes into the cocoon and it comes out as the butterfly. And see, you know, that's empowerment. You take them through that caterpillar phase, and then they emerge into this beautiful butterfly. I love that. I love that. I absolutely love that. So when it comes to evolving into our highest self, what can you tell us about when do you kind of know that it's time for a change in your life?
Listen, one thing I can say is that we're always evolving.
Oh, we should.
Or we should be always evolving.
Right.
Because we can't stay stagnant in one specific position for all our years, because then we get comfortable and complacent.
Yep.
Right. So when you start to feel that urge to want to do something else, or you have that urge on something and it has to get done and it has to get done now, kind of urgency in your guts.
Yes.
That's when you know it's time to make that change.
Yes, absolutely.
And most of the time, your gut will tell you what that change is. You just got to be listening.
Yes.
When you sit there and you pray to God or pray to the universe or whatever you pray to. Or whatever. When you do that, you have to be willing to sit in your quiet space and listen.
Yes. Yes.
Because you can't pray for something and think that in that moment it's going to come to you. You got to listen.
Yes.
You can't just get up and, okay, I'm gone. No.
It don't work like that.
Because you're never going to hear it.
Exactly. Yep.
Because all the noise that's going on, you're going to miss that.
Mm-hmm. Listen to hear.
Ooh.
Yes. We have
That's
to.
a good one.
Yes. You have to listen.
Listen to hear.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you believe that growth is important?
Growth has to be important.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be important because at the end of the day, nobody can stay a child.
Talk about it.
We can't stay a child for the rest of the life. You're going to be a grown man or a grown woman walking in a childlike mindset. For what?
Mm-hmm. And I look at it like this: like if you're outgrowing your clothes, are you gonna continue to wear those clothes, or are you gonna go and buy something different that fit? I mean, change and growth goes hand in hand with evolving.
Absolutely.
Although they're three different words, but they all essentially
they all
the same.
Have the same meaning.
It just
the
has
same
different levels to each one of them.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
How does one know when it's time to evolve to their highest self after going through the decision to make the change, after listening to the gut feelings, after expressing and embracing the growth stage that they go through? How do they know that it is time to make that complete transformation to be the best you that you can possibly be?
Once you're listening, it will tell you when to move. The universe, God, whoever you worship, will tell you when it's time to move.
Right.
There's not a time frame on it.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was trying to get you to say. Because a lot of people believe that you have to be an old person to have all of this wisdom and understanding and, be your best self. No, you can be at any age, but it's all about the mindset. You have to have that mindset that I want change. I'm ready to grow, and I'm ready to be the person that God placed me on this earth to be.
So, when you feel enough is enough, and you got to be sick with being sick.
Sick and tired of being
sick
and tired.
That's when you know you've had enough, and a change has to happen. But a change has to happen in here first.
Yes.
In the mindset. Because at the end of the day, you can change everything. But if your mindset is still the same,
how that's working?
How it's going to work?
It's not.
Right? It's not. It's going to work for a period of time. Because that's why we got big old dummies in the White House, but we ain't gonna talk about that.
Yeah, we could go all day about that, but this ain't what this is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But it's only gonna work for a period of time.
Right.
Especially when you are not doing right by God's people.
Oh, I'm gonna take it even further. When you're not doing right by yourself. Because
you're part of God's people.
Exactly. But you have to love yourself enough to have that compassion, to have that love for other people. And
absolutely,
I'm speaking from experience, because when I didn't love myself, I didn't care about anybody else's feelings. Somebody just passed in such and such family, and I was hard-hearted. And I did not like that person. And until I looked in the mirror and said, you know what? If you keep treating people like this, if you keep treating yourself like this, you're going to be dead and gone. And them people ain't going to have nothing to say good about you if they even show up. So,
and that's when you got to take a look at yourself and reflect on who you are and say, what do I want to be known for or known as? And if your answer is you don't give two shits, then guess what? you better stay on the corner by the wayside and stop messing with people.
Right. Just go be by
and
yourself.
Stay by yourself.
Yes. Go be in the wilderness, roaming around.
Ooh, that part. That part. And it doesn't make no sense no other way.
It doesn't. Like
you want to be in civilization and around people, you got to know how to deal with people. Exactly. Simple as that.
Simple as that. So what would you tell a listener who may be feeling like that? What would you say to them that they just going through life spiraling out of control because they don't give a damn about nobody, not even themselves? What would you tell someone who is listening right now?
Are you ready for a change? Are you ready for things to be different? And only you could answer that question.
Right.
Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired?
Absolutely.
Only you could answer that question. At the end of the day, because if you're not sick and tired of being sick and tired, you're not going to see a need for a change.
Exactly. And if you find yourself always going, but you never get anywhere, it's time to stand still and listen.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. I just released a book called GPS, and it's called GPS Navigating to your next level. And if you're not in a position to hear from God or whoever trying to hear from, I'm a woman of faith, so I'm listening for God's voice. Not knocking anybody, but on this platform, this what I listen to God.
That's where we at.
Exactly. So if you're not in a position that you want to hear, you are doing yourself a disservice, and you will never become better, because no one was put here to be alone. If so, Adam would just be by himself.
Okay. Okay. Yep. But then again, it won't be no rest of humans.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, a man can't have no children, right? So where the rest of the human beings gonna come from?
Right. Can't come from the animals, because that's like bestiality or whatever. Yeah.
Right. Half beast, half man.
Yeah. No, that don't work.
No. That's fiction.
Yes.
That's fiction.
Yes. And we both writers. So yeah.
Okay, that's fiction. So at the end of the day, it's like we need to have that human contact in order to survive.
Yeah, and then that pushes us to be better.
That part.
If you're the smartest person in your circle, it's time for you to change circles. You can't grow if the people are still the same. And if you find yourself teaching everybody that you're in contact with and they're not growing, it's time for you to move and be okay. Be okay with that. That doesn't mean that you wish them any ill will, that you
just gotta find another circle.
Exactly. You
just gotta start putting yourself in position.
Yes.
For the people that supposed to help elevate you to find you.
Yes.
Right?
You just that right there will preach. Yes.
Because you can't necessarily go out looking for them, because you would never find them. But you have to put yourself in position.
Yes.
In order for them to find you. Because that's how it happened to me.
Yeah, me too.
Once I got my LLC, that was me starting to put myself in position in order for the people that I'm supposed to be aligned with to find me.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, when you have a flock of sheep and that one strays off, but the master or the leader, that head sheep will come back and get you. Well, guess what? They will come back and get you. They will find you. Your people that you are aligned with, your tribe that you're supposed to be aligned with, will find you.
Right.
Just put yourself in position.
Yes.
Where they can find you.
Right. And what our girl Imani said, shy people make shy money.
Oh, okay.
I I love that.
Hello?
I love that.
I love it.
So
When she first said it the first time, I was like,
okay, girl.
ooh.
Like an aha moment. Like that just
Right?
gave my heart a hug. Like for real. Because I
Girl.
was the shy person. I was afraid of what people would say. I did not like my speaking voice. And here I am, your guest on my
On own
podcast.
podcast.
So
On your
I'm like,
own podcast.
yes.
Ew.
So we have a tend to get in our own way. Like, and
Yes.
I have a podcast topic coming up saying getting out of your own way. We have to be able to do that. And how do we do that?
Get out of your way.
We do that by
Listen.
getting in position so that we can elevate and evolve into our higher self. That's how we do that. So
Absolutely.
this has been great. I see something behind you. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about
Yes,
what's behind you,
boo.
sis. Listen,
So
we have
you
an
know, let me
author
bring it a little
here.
closer.
Yes.
Let me bring it a little closer.
I love how you got it hanging there. Like, hey, girl, you hang out right
Yes,
here.
ma'am. So this is, oh, child. Let's see. There we go. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Quotes
So
of a
this
butterfly.
is my book. It's called Quotes of a Butterfly.
Mm-hmm.
So this book came out of anytime I heard any quotes, anything that somebody said that gave me that, ooh.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I would take note and write it down.
Mm-hmm.
Or I would, if it was too long, I will condense it and make it into a smaller quote.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did was I put a bunch of quotes together into a book.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to show you what the first page looks like. Give me a second.
Oh, good. You are good.
So it has a quote in the first, and the quote says, "Dream big and have confidence in your dreams. You are worthy."
Mm.
Right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So that's the beginning of the book.
Yes.
If you can see it, let me see.
I love that. Yeah, I can see it.
There it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then next to it, it has another quote. Good Lord. Give me a second, you know? Let's see. It has another quote, and then it has a journal section.
Okay.
So this one says, ooh, child, can I see it? Okay. Visualize the things you want and go get it.
Mm.
Right? And then I have a question or a little prompt for you to now journal where it says, write your visions.
Wow. I love that.
So here you will write all your visions, all the things that you would like to see happen in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the other side of it, I have more space just in case you run over.
Mm-hmm.
And then next here, I have another quote, another prompt, and more journal space.
I love that.
So, it's just for you to take a look at yourself and start to reflect on what you've been doing, where you are today, and where you see yourself going.
Right.
It would help you to now visualize what your future can be.
I love that. So tell everybody where they can purchase it from.
So I am on Instagram, butterflythoughts.llc. And I have a link in my bio. You can get it that way. It will take you to all the links of everything that I have going on. And the first link in that, once you click the link in my bio, the first link, it would be the book, the link for the book.
Okay.
That will take you straight to the book, and you can purchase it off of Amazon.
Okay, cool.
So if you don't do that and you're not on Instagram, you can go straight to Amazon and put in quotes of a butterfly. Can you see
it? Should pop up. Yeah.
And it should pop up. If it doesn't, make sure you put in the author's name, which is Kimberly Neptune. Or you can just put in my name, Kimberly Neptune, and I know definitely it'll
come up. Yeah. Right.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So listeners, y'all make sure that y'all go and purchase the book. I know for a fact that it will help empower you and get you to thinking about your elevation and who you will eventually evolve into. That's
Mm-hmm.
awesome. That is awesome. So
Absolutely.
I know you talked about Instagram, but where can listeners find you? Where else can we find you?
So now I also have a website. It's called Butterfly Thoughts LLC.com. Butterfly Thoughts LLC.com.
All right.
Yeah.
And all of this information will be in the description box. So you don't have an
Yeah,
excuse not to go and get this book and support this beautiful
absolutely.
soul. I have enjoyed having you kick it with me
Yes, thank
today.
you.
So tell us before we get off, what's next for
Mhm.
Butterfly Thoughts, Kimberly?
So right now I'm so glad that I did this podcast with you today. It was amazing.
Uh-huh.
I knew it was gonna be.
Yeah, listen, we connected a couple weeks ago on a live that we was
Yes.
on. Yes.
Exactly. So this was amazing. So I have a couple of interviews coming up with a gentleman by the name of Cyrus Webb.
Mhm.
And I have another IG live that I'm gonna be doing on Friday.
Okay.
So I have a few things coming up just in this week alone
Mhm.
that I'm gonna be on different lives going on.
Mhm.
Also, I am also now working on another book.
Hey now.
I got the book bug.
Yes. it,
um,
it always working like that.
yes, right. So this one is gonna be a little bit more interactive. It's gonna be like an activity book.
Okay.
Um, I'm gonna do have something that will encourage your and help heal the little child inside of you.
Mm.
So it's gonna have affirmations. It's gonna have color pages where you can color.
Mhm.
It's gonna have like find words, and the words that you're gonna be finding is gonna be affirmations.
I love that.
So I'm just gonna do something that is gonna be fun
Yeah,
and
don't
still will
tell too
get your
much, girl.
mind
Don't tell too
thinking.
much. We don't want nobody to be trying to steal your ideas. Don't tell too much. Look, y'all heard it
No,
here.
no.
Y'all heard it here first on Kicking It with KeKe with Butterfly Thoughts.
Yes,
So, hey, we coming for you if we see it.
exactly. But
Right.
yeah, I just want to empower people,
Mhm.
encourage people to be their best and highest self possible.
Absolutely. Because you're doing yourself a disservice if you're not. If you're not, you're
Absolutely.
missing out on so much. And then
Oh,
the people are missing out on who
who you
you're ready, like
are.
who you are, like you are relevant in this world. People are waiting for you. So if you're listening and you don't feel like you're relevant, you are. That service, that business, that book, whatever you decide that you are wanting to do, it is needed.
Absolutely.
Don't think that people won't support you, because they will. Your vibe will attract your tribe. I tell that to everybody.
Yeah. Ooh,
Yeah.
your vibe will attract your tribe.
Yes. Yes.
Get
Absolutely.
it. I
So
love that.
on
I
a
love it.
personal note, what
Yes.
would you tell your younger self about
Ooh.
evolving into your highest self as yourself right now?
Ooh, that's a good one. um, the one thing I would tell my younger self, I will put a time frame on it. My teenage self
Mm,
is, baby girl, it's okay. It's all that you aspire to be is going to come. You just
mm,
got lessons that you have to learn first.
absolutely.
And I
Absolutely.
love you.
See, yeah, I love when I ask this question to guests and they put that in there. Some
Yes.
don't, but the ones that I'm like, we right here, they always
Yes.
say, I love, or I
Yes.
see you and I love you. They always say that. So
Yes.
oh, I'm so glad that you said that. But
Yes. Because
again,
we need to be loved on. And
you
a
have
lot
to.
of us did not get that nourishment that we needed, or we didn't get enough of it because our parents and our grandparents and our aunties and uncles weren't raised on that.
Absolutely.
And they didn't know how to give it.
Mm-hmm.
You
You
know,
can't give something that you never had.
right.
Yeah.
So, my great aunt, the first time she hugged any one of the children was when I came around.
Wow.
And that's because I always went and hugged her.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually
She
she
opened
started
up.
hugging the
Yeah.
children
Yeah.
that, one that she birthed or that she helped raise.
Right.
Because my mother's mother passed away when she was 8 years old.
Okay.
And my great aunt is the one who raised her ever since she was 8.
Right.
So that's the only grandmother I know.
Right. Absolutely.
Right. And God rest her soul, she just passed away about a year ago.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
She was in her 90s. She
Oh,
lived
well,
her
she lived
life.
a great life. Yes.
What? That
Hey,
woman lived
she
her
wouldn't look.
life.
She wouldn't come back if she had a chance to. No, go ahead. Yes,
No, go
celebrate.
ahead. Go ahead, sleep.
Yeah.
Go spend some time with your sister. You ain't seen your sister in umpteen years.
Yes.
Go love upon your sister.
Yes.
You know
Yes.
what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So my only thing when she did pass away was that I couldn't get to the funeral or to, pay my respects and to just tell her, even in her casket, then get to tell her that I loved her in that moment. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because it was during Corona time.
Yep. Oh, I know.
And she lived in Canada.
Oh, wow.
We live here.
Yeah.
in the United States.
And you ain't going over there. Stay.
Nobody was going nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So we couldn't get there.
Right.
So, but I am at peace with it because I know she lived her life.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And she was 94 years old.
94 years old. That is a blessing.
Thank God. Thank you, Jesus, for allowing her to spend that much time on earth.
Right.
And she raised her own 4 boys, and also helped raise my mother and her brother, and her one of her husbands. I'm sorry, y'all. My phone is ringing. Anywho, one of her husbands, because she had to, his kids,
right,
from a previous marriage. So she did what she was brought here to do.
Right.
And I am okay with the passing.
Well, good. That's great. Not everybody can say that, but that is awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. So again, I thank you for coming to kick it with me this evening. It has been a pleasure. I will be in touch and let you know when this episode will air. Thank you, listeners, for tuning in. I love you guys so much. There is no me without you. Make sure you like, share, comment, leave a review. I am on all the platforms that you can listen to podcasts on. And if you're listening right now, you can go over to the YouTube and watch behind the scenes. So you'll get to see who Kimberly is, and as me as well, if you haven't already. So
right.
Until next time, guys, make sure that you are operating as your highest self. Because if you're not, you're doing yourself a bad disservice by depriving yourself from being great. So go do you, be great, spread love. And that's all I have to say. Is there anything else you want to leave the listeners with right now before we get out?
Empower your mind, encourage your soul. And I'm going to leave you on that note.
And I'm out, and we out. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye.